Welcome to the Dice Tower's How to Play series. My name is Travis Pfeiffer. Grab your luggage, because it's all aboard in the 2 to 5 player game, Ticket to Ride. In this cross-country game of traveling trains, you'll be laying out routes to collect points. Collect more points than your friends, and you'll be declared the winner, as well as the envy of conductors everywhere. It's time to show you how to play. To set the game up, place the train board face up and within reach of all players. Every player will choose a color with 45 matching train cars and a score marker. Place the score marker on the scoring track, which is located on the outside border of the train board. All the markers will start at 0, which is also labeled as 100. Shuffle the deck of train cards, and then distribute a starting hand of 4 cards to each player. Afterwards, place the deck near the board and reveal the top 5 cards to make the face-up draw section. Place the longest train bonus next to the board as well. Now, shuffle the destination tickets, and then distribute 3 cards to each player. Each player will look at their tickets and decide which ones they will keep. A player must keep at least 2 tickets, but can keep all 3 if they desire. Any tickets players decline will return to the bottom of the ticket deck, which will also be placed by the game board. Remember to keep those destination tickets secret from the other players. Now you're ready to play the game. The player who's the most experienced traveler gets to go first, or you can decide a first player through some random means. Play proceeds clockwise around the table from that player, with each player getting 1 turn until the game ends. On your turn, you must perform one of 3 actions. You can either draw a train card, claim a route, or draw destination tickets. Let's break down each of those. When you draw train cards, you get to draw 2 cards. You can pull a card from the face-up pile or from the top of the deck with a blind draw. If you take one of the 5 face-up cards, you immediately replace it from the deck, and then proceed to draw your second card. You can vary where you draw from. For example, you can draw both cards from the top of the deck blind, one from the deck and one from the face-up pile, or both cards from the face-up section. When drawing, be aware of the special locomotive cards. These are multicolored and act as a wild card, which can be used when claiming routes, which I'll explain shortly. If you were to draw a locomotive card from the face-up section, that would end your turn. You can only draw a single card for the turn when drawing a locomotive. Also, if you draw a face-up card and it's replaced by a locomotive, you cannot draw that locomotive. Now, the special exception to this is if you are lucky enough to pull a locomotive off the top of the deck in a blind draw. In this case, you can still draw your second card for turn like normal. There's no limit to the number of cards you can have in your hand. If the train deck ever becomes depleted, shuffle all the cards in the discard pile to form a new deck. In the very rare case that there are no train cards available, you must take one of the other 2 actions instead. The second action you can take on your turn is claiming routes. To claim a route, a player must play a set of cards equal to the number of spaces in the route. The set of cards must be of the same color. Many of the routes on the board require a specific color of train car in order to be claimed. If the route is gray with no symbol, then any set of the same color can be used to claim this route. When you claim a route, put one of your trains on each space of the route spaces. Then discard the cards used. Any route on the board may be claimed. You do not need to connect your trains to previously placed trains. You may only claim 1 route a turn, only ever connecting 1 pair of cities at a time. Also worth noting that in a 2 or 3 player game, you may only use one of the double route sections. You can only access both sections in games with 4 or 5 players. And the same player cannot claim both double routes between a pair of cities. Finally, after the route is fully claimed and all parts of this action are resolved, move your score marker along the track according to the scoring table on the board. So a 2-train route would be worth 2 points, while a 5-train route would be worth 10 points, and so on. For example, let's say I want to take this route from Omaha to Chicago. This route is blue, so it will require 4 blue train cards. Currently, my hand consists of 4 blue train cards and 1 wild locomotive card. I could use my 4 blue train cards, or I could use 3 blue train cards and my wild locomotive to claim this route. I've decided to use the 4 blue train cards, and I'm going to save that locomotive for later. I discard the 4 blue train cards, then I place my train cars on the board, 1 for each space of the route. Now I'm connected from Omaha to Chicago, and I earn the corresponding points for claiming a 4-train route. The third action you can take on your turn is drawing destination tickets. When taking this action, the turn player will draw 3 destination tickets from the top of the destination deck. The player must keep at least 1 of the drawn destination cards, but can choose to keep 2 or even all 3. Any unselected cards go to the bottom of the destination deck. If there are less than 3 cards in the destination deck, draw as many cards as possible. Each ticket has the name of 2 cities on the map and a point value. If you complete a series of routes that connects the 2 cities, you will earn the points indicated on the ticket, which adds to your total endgame score. But be warned, any tickets that aren't completed will subtract their point value from your final score. Like with the train cards, there is no limit to the number of destination tickets you can hold, and you don't need to reveal them once your ticket is completed. Keep them hidden from the other players until the end of the game. Also note, it doesn't matter how you connect the 2 cities, whether the fewest routes possible or going the long way round. As long as the cities are connected by a continuous train line, it still counts to complete the ticket. Play continues with each player taking a turn performing one of the 3 actions until the end of the game is triggered. This occurs when any player has only 1, 2, or 0 trains left in their stockpile. Now each player, including the one that triggered the end of the game, gets 1 final turn. All points from placing train routes should already be accounted for, but you can double check that your train pieces and point totals match. All players then reveal their destination tickets and add or subtract the value of those tickets based on if they were completed or not. Finally, the player who has the longest continuous path of routes receives the bonus card and adds 10 points to their score. If there's a tie, all tied players will score the 10 points. Remember, a continuous path can loop through the same city multiple times, but you can never count the same train twice. The player with the most points is the winner. If there's a tie, then the player who completed the most destination tickets is the winner. If there's still a tie, then the tiebreaker is the player with the longest continuous path card. And that's how you play Ticket to Ride. Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower's How to Play series. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I'm able to. I'm Travis Pfeiffer. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, take care.